Hello there, beautiful people. Welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to talk about a hate crime, or is it? Well, for those of you who don't know, although I speculate there aren't too many of you guys who don't, the actor by the name of Jussie Smollett. Now, I'm not even sure if I'm pronouncing his name right. He spells it similar to Juicy. Ugh, I don't get it. Anyways, he's an actor in Empire. I haven't heard of him before this story, and I don't watch Empire. I don't watch the show. So this dude's black, and apparently he's gay. That's relevant to the story, or at least the story being projected. This dude was apparently in Chicago at 1 or 2 a.m., went out to get a Subway, and got attacked by two people, two MAGA people, and they were apparently throwing out profanities, racial profanities, apparently homophobic profanities. They put a noose around his neck and they put bleach on him, which later on became revised as a chemical which may be bleach. I'm not sure if he made the change or if news media just they modified it as they got more accurate. I don't know. Anyway, so that was the story, and I'm not even gonna go down the reaction from Twitter checkmarks and the liberal media. At this point, it's absolutely irrelevant. They reacted the same way we always expect them to react. I mean, at this point, I don't think it's even worth our time talking about them anymore. But coming back to the story. Now, if you are liberal, if you hate MAGA people, if you hate people like me, I wish you would at least ask yourself some questions before you jump onto stories like these. These are some of the questions that I ask myself. If you're a liberal, please listen to my questions and see if any of these questions make sense. If so, you should ask yourself these questions next time. Now, I'm not saying this is a hate crime hoax. I'm honestly not saying that. But if I have to bet what it is, I don't know. But if I had to bet, let's say if I were gambling $100, I would guess that it is a hoax. Once again, I'm not saying it is, but it kind of looks like that. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. So the story is, apparently these two guys in Chicago jumped him. Now, I've been to Chicago, I want to say 5 or 6 times over the last 2 years. I've never stayed more than 4 or 5 days, so maybe I'm misunderstanding this. But Chicago is not MAGA country. Chicago is not LA or Portland in terms of left-leaning politics, but its politics, I would say, is similar to New York. If you're someone who lives in Chicago or if you're someone who grew up in Chicago, let me know if I'm mistaken. But I feel Chicago is more of a democratic stronghold. It's not what I would call a MAGA country. So that was my first question mark with this, right? And then the pictures that were circulating about him in the news, I've been beaten up enough to know that if one guy pounces on you, if one guy attacks you and you have no idea, just one blow from someone who's as strong or maybe even a little weaker than you, if you don't see it coming, can do major damage. The claim that this guy got attacked by two people, they tied a noose around his neck, put bleach, they probably beat him up after that. The pictures, when I saw it, it didn't seem like, I mean, maybe that's what happened. Once again, I don't want to say I know anything, but I don't know. I found it a little hard to believe, honestly. Anyways, maybe I'm wrong about that too. And what's important is that as I read about the news, it turns out that when this whole news broke, he shared more with his manager and the media than he did with the police. So for example, the police initially did not know that the two guys yelled out, "This is MAGA country." Apparently that's something the police later figured out. And given the whole angle to this, maybe that's something you tell the police. I don't know. I mean, at the same time, I have to keep in mind that when he spoke to the police, he was probably more traumatized than when he spoke to the media. So I can understand his memory, being a little fidgety, him forgetting certain things. So I guess I shouldn't hold those things against him. When he gave a statement to the police, he said the police cannot have access to his phone, and they have to shut off their dash cameras while he was giving the statement. Now, I find both of those things to be a little curious. Him not giving the police access to his phone, I guess on some level, if I want to play devil's advocate, I guess I can understand that, because even if you trust the police, even if you fully want to cooperate with the police. A lot of people hold reservations about giving police information that they don't have a warrant for whatever reason. So I guess I can sort of see him doing that. But to have the police turn off dash camera footage, I find that to be a big red flag. And also, after the story broke, the police looked at hundreds of hours of camera footage, and they couldn't find anyone. The time frame that this guy gave, the police could find no one. And then the police finally found these two persons of interest, and the location is all messed up. And the description that this guy had, apparently the guys were wearing camel-colored shoes, had hunting socks. I don't even know what any of those things look like. The descriptions don't really match up, and these guys are not even in the same location. So these are person of interest because these are the only two people that the police could identify at a somewhat different location. But anyways, the point is, it's not it's not wise for people to jump onto these stories. I'm not saying you disbelieve him. I'm not saying you say, if someone comes up with a story like that, you automatically say you're lying. But hold on to some level of skepticism. As far as the liberal media is concerned, listen, you guys been calling Trump people racist Nazis the whole time. Can you just stick to calling Trump people racist Nazis for wanting a wall, or go on with this Russia collusion story and just hold on for a week till the investigation comes over? If you hold on for a week and the investigation yields results that is favorable to your narrative, it's going to feel that much better, liberals. Just hold on. And what really bothered me is this reaction from politicians. I don't know if politicians are worse than the media, actually, if I'm being totally honest. But this is Kamala Harris. Jussie Smollet is one of the kindest, most gentle human beings I know. I'm praying for his quick recovery. This was an attempted modern-day lynching. No one should have to fear for their life because of their sexuality or color of their skin. We must confront this hate. Yeah, this is assuming everything Jussie Smollett said is true, of course. And also, I'm not 100% how people, like the attackers, assuming they were actual attackers, found out he's gay. I don't know, that's not obvious to me. Also, he got this mail, which seemed very threatening a week before the incident, and the studio, Fox, wanted to pay for increased security, like 24-hour security, I think. And Jussie Smollett turned it down for some reason on the day of this incident. Anyways, that's another red flag. So, I really don't like politicians race baiting. A lot of people, at some point in the future, someone like Kamala Harris will be the next president. And if it's not Kamala Harris, if it's someone else like Elizabeth Warren, Bernie Sanders, although I'm not sure if Bernie Sanders would be there that far into the future. But anyways, the point is, at some point in the time, you're going to have a Democratic president. And if they don't stop this race baiting, if they don't stop this race pimping, race relations in the United States are going to get so much worse. I mean, I can definitely say that Barack Obama's race baiting have made race relations regress at least 30 to 40 years in my estimate. So I just want to appeal to Democrat voters and liberals to not jump to conclusions. Although, as I say it, I realize it's probably as futile as, I don't know, anything else I could have been doing today. Anyways, you guys, that's the video. I will talk to you guys later. Take care.